shake it up.
Well, hello there, my viewers.
Oh my God.
This is Hugh Hefner in a red robe. Happy Halloween. This is not his voice.
Wow.
Is that how he talks?
That was probably the worst impression of Hugh
Yeah,
Hefner
I'm gonna have nightmares.
that has ever
Cheers.
occurred.
Cheers to Halloween,
Cheers.
guys.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Danny's a keg of beer if you didn't get that. Alex is Hugh Hefner, and I'm an astronaut.
I'm trying.
I'm not an astronaut.
But
if
you know
what
what?
I mean.
Listen, you're out of space. You're from outer space. And that's how I feel about you.
Thanks,
You
man.
blow my mind, man.
I appreciate that.
You're
Thank
out
you.
of this world, man.
You're out of this world.
Sweet.
I'll smoke to that. Puffin pastry. That didn't make sense either. So we're just going to go right into it because if I keep talking, we're not going to get anywhere. If you guys out there have if you guys have watched our last video,
Pardon.
our last post, it was our roll for martini. We have it here. I hate hazelnut. I taste it, so I'm still kind of cringing a bit, but
It's pretty. So Nutella is like hazelnut, right?
yeah.
Because I'm not
yeah.
a big fan of Nutella either. So maybe I don't like hazelnut as much as you don't like hazelnut.
So
I don't
people love it, but I don't think it tastes like chocolate. But
No, I don't.
I
like
mean,
it.
I feel like it's supposed to mimic chocolate, but I'm not digging it. But honestly, it's okay in this. It's okay in this.
So
What do you think?
what's the start to finish ingredients in this bad boy?
So if you haven't watched our roll for martini video, shame on you. I hope you have a horrible Halloween.
You fools.
And no treats in your bag. I'm just kidding. I hope you have a great time. So I did hazelnut cream coffee. So I did that, and the whole house reeked of hazelnut. Then I put in the chocolate milk, vodka, because we rolled on regular vodka. And then our extra spirit, I had the moonshine, apple pie moonshine. And it's from my soon-to-be brother-in-law who makes fabulous
Dude,
moonshine.
it's so good.
Apple
I
pie.
asked Alex for a shot before because I've had it at your wedding.
Right.
He came up to my whole family. He's like, "Hey guys, I make moonshine. You want to try it?" And I was like, "Yes."
Yeah.
And dude, me and my dad, my mom, my brother, we all had a shot, like
That's
a swig of
awesome.
it. It was so good. So
And then the
big
guy-
kudos to you. That was really good stuff.
And then he got arrested.
And then we all got arrested.
Yeah. Shout out to Pickle. You know exactly who you are. I'm sorry, it's Tickle. I keep saying Pickle. It's Tickle. He
Wait,
goes by
what's on your
Tickle.
mind, man?
I don't know, man. A martini, I guess.
So you left us with a bit of a cliffhanger last time.
Let's dive right into it and
That's
get
right.
over
Yeah.
this depressing cockadoodie. Yeah, so I'm going to let Matt take this one, but I was at work, and I'll just start this off. I was on seizure medication for almost 9 months.
Yeah, for a while.
For a while. And the goal was to get 7-8 months. And then I was like, listen, if I just keep doing this, I'm never going to stop taking it. Like, I need to pick a day. So we went to, it was Lexi's birthday. We were in Boston. I saw Yellow Card, which was awesome. And I was like, okay, that's it. Now I got to choose the time to stop taking it. So I stopped taking it. So about 2.5 weeks later of weaning off, and I followed the direction from my surgeon.
Yeah,
Matt,
so
tell me.
right, so you were weaning off. I think 2 weeks out you went from 2 pills to 1, and 1 week out you went from 1 pill to 0. So you were like
Exactly.
fresh off it, and our work was forcing us to come in, like legit. Like they wanted us in office. Like we do it like 3 days out of the month. It's no big deal. I go in more regularly, but I digress. Alex was in, which is rare because he didn't like coming in. Like I don't blame. He just built this new house with this beautiful office and everything, and he's got his nice setup here. And so he's in office, and we went out. I think we went out to lunch, or we went for a walk
Yeah,
or
we went
something.
across the street.
Right. And we came back, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm probably gonna be heading out soon, just because like I'm kind of done with my meetings. I'll go finish everything up from home." I'm like, "All right, that's fine. Like I got to go hop in a meeting." I was doing leadership training at the time, and so we split off. Alex went back to his desk. I went into like this small breakout room to do my training, and I get a call from his wife. And Lexi calls me, and I'm like, she's calling me midday. Like normally I wouldn't like take a call when I'm in this training, but I need to like see what's going on. And like with Alex's condition and stuff, I was like, I hope everything's okay. Like he told me he was leaving. Like he's probably not even here. So I get this call from Lexi, and she's like, "Hey, I think Alex is having a seizure. You need to go find him right now." So I like closed my laptop, hung up on this call, and I just like I ran over to like where his desk is, which is pretty close to where I was, and he's just sitting there like just kind of like staring at the wall, like not really moving, not really like just kind of looked like a zombie, kind of like one of those people in Philadelphia.
Oh yeah, my favorite.
So I'm like, hey, dude, like, are you okay? And he just kind of like slowly turned up to me and was like, I'm not okay. And like it gives me chills talking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, okay, like I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't want to leave him, but I needed to get help. So I'm like, don't go anywhere, which obviously he's like barely turning to me. So I sprint away to go find my manager because he's like CPR certified. He's got all the medication, like everything you need basically. And he's not in his office. So I ran to another office. I said, hey, have you guys seen Brian? And they're like, no. I'm like, all right. So I'm at this point, I'm like running back to him because I'm like, I need to get back to him, make sure he's okay. And I see his director. I'm like, hey, I need you to come with me right now. Like dead serious, like looked him in the eye. I'm like, I'm not joking around. And so he starts running over with me, and I'm like, Alex is having a seizure. He's fresh off seizure medication. Like we need to get him the help. And actually, I should go back. When I said, "Are you okay?" and he said, "No." Lexi, I'm still on the phone with Lexi, and she's like, "Hey, like you need to call 911 right now." So I hung up with her. I called 911 and kind of told them what's going on. And then after I hung up, they're like, "All right, we're on our way." So after I hung up with them, I ran off and found help. And I just told Paul, who Alex's director, I was like, I called 911. They're coming. I need you to go wait by the elevator and like direct them back here so they know where to go. So like all this time, I mean, Alex is just sitting there like peaceful as a goat.
A goat's peaceful.
Yeah, so he's just sitting there like
That's what the goat
just
sound
not
makes.
moving. And I guess so he texted Lexi saying, help me. Because he couldn't call, and so she called him, and he couldn't say anything on the phone because he was having I would say like a minor to medium seizure. Like he didn't freak out and fall on the like he
No
was just
foaming
kind of
from
he
the
just
mouth. Right.
kind of froze and shut down.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember everything that went on, but I couldn't make myself do anything.
Yeah,
I wasn't foaming from the mouth or anything like
Right.
that either.
and so at this point we have a couple managers over there. They kind of cleared everybody out and said, hey, like we have this medical situation that's happening or unfolding. Like, can you guys just give us some space? So I was there the whole time because I'm close with Alex. I'm one of his best buds, and I know his
Hell yeah.
situation. And so finally, not finally, I should say, like 4.5 minutes later, probably within 5 minutes, medics were at his desk.
Shout out to the Lawrence.
Dude, Lawrence FD,
medics,
yeah.
dude. Or the FD and the medics and like the EMTs, whoever came up, because I honestly don't really remember. Within 6 to 8 minutes, dude.
Yeah.
Already
Wow.
up on the 4th floor. Boom.
They came up with a
Dang.
gurney, and they like had like 3 or 4 guys with them, and they're like, yeah, they started asking him some questions, and like he couldn't talk, so I was kind of helping them a little bit. I was like, I kind of made them alert of his situation and what's going on, and they're like, all right, like we're gonna take you to the emergency room, or whatever. So at this point, they're kind of loading him on the gurney, and like he's still kind of like just kind of coming back to it at this point, I think. And so they wheeled him out, and my manager's like, go with him, like whatever you need to do, go, we'll cover you. So I'm like, they're like, oh, we can't, like unless you're family, you can't go in the ambulance. So I ran downstairs, hopped in my truck, and like they're loading Alex in the back of the ambulance, and I'm driving like through the parking lot with my truck. I'm like, hey, you got this, dude. Like, I'll see you there. And
That's crazy.
so
I remember that.
yeah, so
remember
Alex
that.
is getting in the ambulance, and like they got sirens and lights and back roads and all this, and I just hop on the highway, and I'm like trying to get there as fast as I could, dude. The funniest part, and like it's not a funny situation, but like
Funny now.
I get to the hospital. I've never been to this hospital before, and it's like 5 minutes from where we
Methuen.
live and work, and
Yeah.
it's pretty close. And I get there, and I just have no idea where to go. So I just parked in the first lot I could find, which was the furthest lot from where I needed to be. So I'm running in my work clothes, and I see where the ambulances go, like which clearly like civilians aren't supposed to go there. But I go up behind the ambulance. I'm like, hey, like, did you guys just come from Lawrence? Like, my friend was on an ambulance. I'm trying to find him. And like, oh, you need to go around to the front to the main entrance. So I'm like half a mile into this jog, like trying to find out where to go. And then I just finally found out, like, you go around the building, you go in. I'm like, hey, I'm here for Alex. Like, they said, okay, yeah, he just got here 1 minute ago. Cause they have it all on like tabs.
Right.
They keep tabs of everybody and like the ambulance and all that. So at this point, I'm just kind of like waiting for Lexi. Cause I was like, hey, like, this is what's going on. He's going to the hospital. He's going to Holy Family. because it was a 911 call, we had to go to like a closer hospital. Because Lexi said like if he can go to Boston Brigham, was it Brigham's?
Brigham and Women's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he can go there, like that's where we want. So I said that to the medics, and they're like, because it's a 911 call, you have to go to either Lawrence General or Methuen Holy Family. So I was saying that I was on the phone with Lexi at the time. She's like, all right, tell him to go to Holy Family. So that's where we went. And then Lexi came and met up with me. I called Lindsay, my wife, and I was just like, hey, like, I don't think there's anything you can really do, but like, just come and be a friend to Lexi if she needs anything. Like, so meet me at the hospital. So I get there. A couple minutes later, Lindsay gets there. A couple minutes later, Lexi gets there. And then Alex's mom and stepdad went to the wrong hospital, unfortunately. So so I shared the location. I'm like, hey, this is where he is. So another, 5, 10, 15 minutes later, they showed up. So it was well under control. And like we all reacted pretty fast to get Alex the care that he needed. But it was crazy. Like by far like the craziest like work experience I've had to go through. And I would do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah. Do you remember it?
Hell yeah. Do I remember? I mean, yeah, I do, which is crazy.
I just wasn't sure if you like blacked out during this whole thing.
No, so
like,
I was unconscious, but I still was conscious, if that even makes any sense. Like, I knew I was there, and I was like,
that's probably what a
at
coma
my
feels
desk,
like.
Right, but like I was like, lift my arms, lift my legs, and I just couldn't.
Yeah, I think you told me like you're like my motor skills just stopped. I couldn't move my mouth. I couldn't move my head. I couldn't move. You said like slowly but surely like you like lost control of like your movements.
It was like a robot or like the Energizer bunny, like running out of power. It was just like that slow slouch, and like I was just there. I could text a little bit, but
yeah,
dang, dude, that's wild.
The medics came like
at
literally
work out of all places.
I know.
Yeah.
And like I think. Since your brain surgery, like your team and your management was kind of aware of like your situation.
Yeah.
So they're like, don't worry about coming back in. Like, yeah, no kidding. Like, obviously, like, and like weaning off your medicine, like the week that you went in just unfortunately wasn't the right time.
It was expected, but I feel like the percentage of me experiencing that was much lower than it actually was.
The scariest part was she's like, hey, you need to go find Alex. I think he's having a seizure. In my mind, I'm like, he just told me he's going home. Like, if he's driving, like,
dude,
that would have been catastrophic.
Yeah.
He would have crashed his car. Like, something worse could have happened. You never know.
So Matt tells me he's gonna just hang around because he's like, I have a meeting, like very shortly. Like, I might as well just stay here.
I had my training, yeah.
Right. So I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just like, I'll hang tight for a little bit more. And I feel like that was meant to happen.
Dude, good thing you did.
Yes. Because if I left when I was planning on it, it could have happened when I was driving, and
that would have been bad, man.
Yeah, so pretty crazy. I mean, the medics came really quick. They got you the care you needed, and I think it was handled pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
From my point and my management's point, like, if I had found Brian a little bit quicker, I think it would have been better. But at the same time, like, what's he going to do? Like, we're just waiting for the medics.
No one knew.
I just had to, I had Paul go and wait by the elevator and, like, direct him back. And then my manager kind of cleared out the area and was like, hey, guys, like, this is going on. Just give us some space.
Right.
But, yeah, it's pretty crazy, dude. And
that's what having a seizure is like.
Yeah, seriously.
So cheers.
You being
Honestly,
here, man.
Thank you.
Holy crap.
I know this has kind of been like a lingering topic, but I'm so appreciative of my friends and family. And I know you were coming in sort of after all this stuff was happening, but I know you would have been just as supportive. So cheers to that. And yeah, man, I'm here and I'm stoked.
Yeah.
And you look great, man.
Thank you.
Dude, had you not been able to like text Lexi, like who knows what would have happened? You would have just been sitting there.
Yeah, and of course, Tony.
Yeah.
Great guy, man.
Who's Tony?
Oh, he's
our coworker. He sits right next to Alex.
Yeah, like where you are and me, like we're just across the.
For some reason, I didn't go to him. I just like I said, like I needed to go find someone that like kind of knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
So Tony didn't even know. Yeah.
He usually has headphones in. He's rocking out. He's dancing.
Yeah,
he's like, yeah. I don't know why Alex didn't like ask me. I'm like, dude, he couldn't move his body, so he couldn't talk.
Yeah, and if you're sitting at your computer normal like this and you're frozen, like people probably just think you're in a daydream.
That's what he said. So Alex, like I said, he was sitting there like this, and Tony goes, yeah, dude, I just thought he was napping. Sometimes I nap through meetings and stuff.
He's like everyone does that.
Yeah,
nap
he's
with
a
your eyes
character,
open.
but yeah, so it was pretty crazy.
Thank you, man.
Hell yeah.
And thank everybody. I thank everybody for being in my life during that time because it was just insane.
Yeah,
man. It's scary.
You've had quite the go of it in the last couple of years, man.
Really,
I have, and I don't say that lightly. I truly have, but it's not. Obviously, it's not because I wanted it to happen, and it's nothing to like flaunt about.
No.
It just happened, and I'm here still, and I'm glad that the
Yeah.
three of us are here doing what we want to do, and you
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have been talking about it, and I brought it up to you, and we're here, and
It worked
we're
out
just
well.
gonna leave it off on a happy note, man.
Yeah.
Dude. Keep that positive attitude. No
Hell
matter
yeah.
what happens, you just keep
Right.
smiling. Keep drinking espresso martinis.
Hell yeah, that's right. And while we're on the topic, real quick about thanks, I just wanted to say, and we all want to say, thank you for our friends. Thank you to our friends. Thank you to our new viewers for checking out our podcast, checking out our clips.
Cheers to you guys.
Cheers to you guys. I hope you guys like what you hear going forward. And if you have friends that you think would like this, let them know. Follow us. We'll reach out to you. We answer our DMs. Slide in our DMs. We love doing this.
We're gonna do
We
some
love
more
doing this.
interactive stuff where we can have people ask us questions or suggest topics to talk about, and it'll be a good time.
Definitely.
So definitely stay tuned and share with your friends. Tell the world.
Yeah.
We
I'm
want to
looking forward
share
to it.
our chemistry. We have a really good friendship, the three of us, and I
Yes.
think it's fun and funny, and
We want you in it. We want you a part
we want
of it,
people
for sure.
we want people to vibe with us.
Hell yeah.
And if maybe you're lucky enough, we'll have you as a guest on the podcast
Oh.
at some point. Maybe down the
Wow.
line, some
I
lucky
like
fan
that.
will
If you're
become a
very
guest.
lucky.
Very
Very
lucky.
lucky.
Yeah, like winning the 1.7 Mega Millions
Ooh,
lottery.
I like that.
Lucky.
I
You
like that.
can-
I take
yeah.
that over being on a
I
podcast.
bought
I
two
know.
tickets last night and I did not win.
Dude, it's such a waste.
I had
My
like
grandma's been doing it for 90 years. My my late grandmother, my dad's mom, who
RP.
passed away when she was 90, she would play every week, same numbers, 90. Well, not 90. She wouldn't be doing lotto when she was one, but you know what I'm saying.
so I had
Never
like
won.
I had
Never
like
won.
$4 in my bank from like previous winnings, like oh big whoop.
Right.
But I was like, I might as well like do $2 tickets.
Right.
Like why not? I'm not like spending money at that point. Like I've already I've spent the money and like I won a little bit back, but like I figured I might as well throw my hat or my name in the hat rather.
What do they say? If you
Yeah.
don't play, you never
You
know.
have zero chance.
Yeah, right.
Wayne Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Hell yeah.
Something like
Michael
that.
Scott, Wayne Gretzky.
I
Well-
think it's a little different when it comes to the lottery, though.
It
I just
does.
don't play because I'm
I
like,
know.
I'd rather have
It's
that.
called
$5
gambling,
It's
right?
such a-
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gambling.
Shit, I know. It's like whatever. But I'll still do it. Throw a couple bucks here and there.
What would you do if you won it? Well,
On
like, what would you do? Everybody wants to.
Depends how much you win, but if you like win like an absurd amount,
So
first of all, you got to hook up all your homies and your
obviously,
family, pay off all your
obviously.
debts.
Hell yeah.
You got to enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yep.
Get a couple cars or trucks or whatever you're into, and then you got to get some property.
Definitely. Get into real estate.
100%.
And
But at that point, you have so much money, it doesn't even really matter what you
Well,
invested in.
I mean,
No.
you're not going to have it forever, and we're young enough that like we could probably blow through
A
you know,
billion?
well, no, not a billion. I mean, a billion. Would you do nothing with your life if you had $1 billion?
Yeah.
no, I do everything.
Well,
I'd still like invest it because like, you want to donate to charities and good causes and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
you want to enjoy yourself, and then you want to help out your friends and family.
I mean, I would invest for sure. Throwing $1 million into an investment like a portfolio would be awesome.
Yeah.
Take care of
Gold.
my family and friends, and then just traveling and stuff.
Yeah.
Like just
Travel for sure, see
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
you know who I'd call?
Who?
Peter Schiff. If I got $1 billion, I'd say Peter.
Who the hell's that?
You haven't heard of Peter Schiff?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, man, he's the biggest
Uh-oh.
gold bug you'll ever listen to.
This is why Danny
Loves
owns gold.
There
Yes.
you go. Okay.
Hey, I don't own gold. Don't come to my house looking for it because it's not there.
It's
It's
not
at the
there.
storage
It's in the
unit.
ground.
It's at 489
Heisenberg has
South
it.
Policy, Canada.
Got it. Yes, exactly.
P.O. Box 115522.
But that's who I'd call,
All right.
you know.
not Dave Ramsey.
No. He'd be like, pay off all your
Money
debt.
box.
Yeah, he'd be like,
Who's that
cash
guy?
is king.
Who's that guy like a money box? He's like, what? He's got that voice. He's on
Oh,
like
Jim Cramer?
Jim Cramer, yeah. Kramer's a
guy's-
crazy nut.
Yeah, you can't listen to him. He
Annoying.
they have this thing called like the inverse Kramer ETF, where basically you invest in everything, like you're basically shorting everything that he recommends you invest in. It's like you
Okay.
bet against everything he says to invest in.
Got it.
So I don't know. I don't think his track record is very good.
The Big Short. It's coming again.
The Big
Yeah.
Short, yeah.
Great
Michael
movie.
Burry.
Awesome
Great movie.
movie.
Yeah,
So
Michael
good.
Burry. He just put another huge bet against the stock market.
Really, not the same one though, right? Not against the housing market.
No, not against the housing market. He's shorting SPY, which is the S&P 500,
Wow,
and he's shorting
which is like a guarantee.
QQQ, which is an ETF that tracks the NASDAQ, which is actually funny because I did the same thing a couple months ago, and I'm just holding and waiting and waiting.
Dude,
But-
best of luck. If you
Thank
if
you.
you
Yeah,
get
for
rich,
sure,
you know,
man.
hook us up.
I don't think it'll make me rich because I only have like I think I have like let's just say $5,000 in it. He has like $1 billion
Oh wow.
in these 2 shorts.
But he also, I mean, that's like pocket change for him after what happened in 2008.
Yeah, I think he made
Yeah.
like
I
$600
agree,
million
yeah.
dollars for his investors.
That's nuts.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Great movie.
Well, I hope you get rich. I'm gonna take my sunglasses
Hugh.
off now because I can't. You're welcome, my friend.
Whoa, it's Alex, dude.
what? I didn't know that.
thought it was
it's,
you.
It's getting way too dark.
I was about to
Um,
say, how do you have like 18 wives?
maybe my hat. I'll keep my hat on for a little bit.
Yeah,
but,
dude, you got it. It looks money.
I love it.
This might be a dumb
So-
question, but is
Yeah,
Hugh
what's
Hefner
up?
still alive?
Who?
Is Hugh Hefner still alive?
No.
I didn't think so. I thought
No,
he
he
died,
passed
right?
away. Yeah, he passed away 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay. That's
Was
what
3
I
years
thought,
ago?
but I
Was he
didn't
a
wanna
sailor?
be-
No, he just he just like that's one of his. This is like one of his famous props.
Yeah,
The
it's
sailor,
his get
like,
up.
the
Yeah.
red robe and the pipe.
He just sailed through the ocean of women.
Shut
Oh
Come on.
my god.
He kind of honestly. All right, I gotta take this back. Hello, how you doing, man?
How about
No, that's fucking
David? Show us what Hugh Hefner
No.
sounds like and compare it to what Alex sounds like, because
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
Yeah, but
no diffedifferences.
he has like a little.
I thought he just
like
sounded
this.
like an old man.
He
Like,
kinda talks like, he talks like.
Is that Joe Biden?
yeah,
Well,
Sorry.
When I had it, when I, all right.
Hello?
So when I had a seizure, we were like, it was basically a zombie. So, Danny, we all know what this is about, but we know that you're like heavy deep in this thing. Tell us
Yeah.
about Kenningston?
It's
Kensington.
Kensington Avenue. Tell us
in
about this zombie
Philadelphia.
thing. Let's
So
go.
there's this tranquilizer drug that these homeless people, or I don't even know if they're homeless, they could be regular people, that they're getting into. And basically what it does is it attacks like your central nervous system. But for some reason, I don't know how to explain this scientifically, but when these people take it, like they stand normally, but then they completely pretend like you're, gonna just bend over and touch your toes. That's what they all look like.
Can you show
And
us?
so, yeah, I mean, if you watch the video on YouTube, there's a couple live cameras, Kensington Ave in Philadelphia. I go to it like 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day, and I just watch, and it's so entertaining.
It's like your version of watching a golf tournament.
Yeah,
But you wa-
exactly. Like I could probably
watching
place
these
bets on.
zombies.
I bet, this guy walking
Dude.
by, I bet you $20.
What- we
he's
should
about
do
to
that.
hunch over.
we should get bets going on
Don't
these.
steal
Yeah.
his ideas, anyone.
I mean, the reason why
Copyright.
I know I normally feel bad for homeless people when it's not their choice, but this is a choice. They're choosing to do this, and so I don't feel as bad making fun of them. But it's fun to watch them. It kind of gives you an idea of like what's really going on in the world. They won't
Right.
show this on the news.
No.
People go through their trials and tribulations and deal with it differently, and some
Mm.
people end up down that avenue. And like you said, like I'm not trying to harsh on them, but I had a friend in San Diego that absolutely hated homeless people, and he'd like come back to his house. I was hanging out with his friend or whatever, his roommate, and he's like, "Yeah, I just threw some bananas at some homeless people." I'm like, "What?" He's like,
That's
"Yeah,
kinda
dude, I
messed
just
up.
like walk down the street and like throw a banana at them." I'm like, "That's
See,
kind of messed up, dude."
There's a difference. See, I think there's a difference between homeless people and bums.
Yeah.
Homeless people, they don't have a choice. Like if
Right.
somebody doesn't have a home, they might not be able to afford a home, especially
Right, and like
now.
a lot,
But a
unfortunately,
bum?
yeah, a lot of vets too are down
Yeah,
that
I
avenue.
agree.
that's not
I agree
that's
with
not
that.
their fault.
That's
But
sad.
bums, they just choose to live this life where it's a never-ending party. They just want to do drugs, live off the system, and prey off of people who are
Yeah.
hardworking and
Mantises.
yeah, exactly, praying mantises. So
We see people all the time by, our job. When I used to work there, but
Yeah.
the job by the like overpass, there would be a guy there with
He's
a
still there.
sign. He's still there.
Panhandler.
Yeah, exactly. But there's like
Mm.
4 others of the same like crew. They get dropped off by this like Mercedes Benz,
Legit.
and they switch
Wow.
places all the
The
time.
same stuff happens
Yeah.
in Salem.
Yeah,
And it's like,
it's
dude,
like a business.
if
Yeah,
you think
no,
about
it
it, if they're
is.
sitting out there for an hour and you get like 5 people to give you $10, you're
Mm.
making $50 an hour.
yeah.
it's nuts.
It's crazy. I mean, sometimes I'll give them something like if I really like feel like I'm guided to do that, but a lot of the times
I feel like you can feel it though.
yeah.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you just know when to give them money and not. Like one
Right.
time
Like
I was in Tampa and there was this guy who's my age. I'm driving a nice, at the time, Pontiac G6, and I'm parked
Whoa, like a
I'm-
G6.
like a G6, not a plane. But I was parked at this gas station about to pump gas, and he walked by, and he just looked terrible. And it was 95 degrees out. I'm in an AC in my car, and this guy's he's sweating profusely. He's definitely like 20 years old, and I'm like, what card did he get dealt in life?
It's sad.
Yeah, it was
It
sad.
is
So
sad.
I had a bag of change that I'd been saving up for probably like a year. Just bag of change, like probably had $40 in it. I gave it to him. It was like I gave him the world. You know, this guy was so thankful, and I'm like, that's why I differentiate homeless people from bums, because I'm like, homeless people, not a choice, dealt a shitty, card in life.
Yeah.
But hopefully they can get out of it, and it's people like us who recognize that.
Right.
And then, we can help them. But
It's
if you're
up
just
to
a bum,
us. It's up to us, honestly.
yeah, it really is.
We kind of determine their fate. Like,
yeah.
and that's why a lot of people will be like, listen, if you want food, like, I will go and buy you
Right.
food, because then they'll be like, no, I just want cash.
Right.
Then kind of like
They're
what they're up
they're
to.
going to buy some Fireball nips and a
Yeah.
pack of cigarettes and
Yeah.
like have a day.
Yeah. Did you
Yeah.
ever see that? Did you guys watch Ross Creations? That
No.
guy?
No, I don't know who that is.
He went around like handing out
Making
beer,
me feel old,
beer to
man.
homeless people
Okay.
to see if like they would take it, and sometimes they would be like, "Yeah, I don't drink." That was like kind of nice to see.
I
It's
like
like,
that.
oh,
I love
you're
that.
not just gonna take my money and go buy beer.
Right.
So
I've seen videos on YouTube as well with the same type of like premise, and they're like, you want a haircut, man? You want a shower?
yeah,
And they are so grateful, and they're like, yeah, like they have this raggedy long hair. They get a clean cut from a barber. It's covered by the guy that's filming it and stuff. Gets a sandwich, gives them like a shower. They'll go to like a Planet Fitness. He'll hop in the shower, and he's so, or she, or whoever they are, like they're so grateful, like that they're clean, that they're.
The other thing I respect
it's
too is
awesome.
like, and like, who knows how much could come from it, but like, instead of standing there asking for money, you see people handing out their resume, like, I'll come work for you, or come work at home, like whatever you can
Makes a
do,
huge
really.
difference.
Yeah, definitely.
or hand out water bottles. Just be like $1 for a water.
yeah.
And then the person will give you $2. You just
Right,
hold
you
your
go
money.
buy a pack of Poland Spring, my favorite,
can
favorite flavor,
Yeah,
and
Flavor.
it's green.
Poland
Great.
Spring definitely has a flavor.
It's
dude.
my
It tastes
favorite
like
flavor.
Fish water.
You shut your mouth.
It tastes like a goldfish
That's
was
it.
swimming
That's
around in it.
We're done.
All right.
And
Thanks,
so yeah,
everyone.
so the Martini Boys lasted 5 episodes, and Matt and Danny, got it. No.
Poland Spring. I grew up on that stuff, man.
Yeah, it's the
Crystal
best.
Geysers the way
I
to
still
go.
drink
Crystal
it.
Geyser's pretty good, but I
Where's
like
that
Poland
from? What
Spring.
store? Crystal Geyser? Is it
Market
Costco and
Basket.
stuff? Or
No, yeah, they
Basket?
sell it
Okay.
everywhere.
Oh, everywhere? Okay.
But so I mean, Poland. It's from Poland, Maine, which is really good water in my opinion.
Oh, I thought it was from Poland, legit Poland.
No, it's from
No.
Poland, Maine. So
I know.
I know.
You
We always
sick son of a
yeah, we always drive by it when we go to
Sunday River. That's right. Yeah. But
you
yeah,
drive by the springs or the company?
The company
both.
Okay.
with like the hotel
Both.
and the spa. Well, yeah, both.
The
Yeah.
spring. There's actually tap
Just-
water off the side of the road that you can like people stop and fill up their stuff because it's like really
That's
good
pretty-
They
water.
That's
filled
pretty
their
cool.
goldfish tank with it.
Yeah, they
My fish
goldfish
died.
come out of the spigot. But yeah, dude, if you go and buy like a 24 pack of waters for $5.99 and you sell one for $1 a water, like make some cash.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you just quadrupled your
That's
money.
like little kids. They have lemonade stands. First of all, my old landlord told me 2 very wise things to live life by. One
Let's hear it.
was always stop at lemonade stands
Mm.
and always wave to the police.
Wow. Okay.
And I've
Okay.
lived my life on that ever since.
Now he's in jail for running.
He's like
lemonade
he's in
stand.
jail for his whole life.
No, he's
plus-
a cool guy. He's a townie from where I used to live, but
Nice. No,
yeah,
that's good
dude.
advice.
There's always lemonade stands, and like I never carry cash, which is a big shame. I should keep like $5 in my
What was it
car.
like 50 cents?
Right, because like
Yeah.
and like we did
I
that when
never
I was
even have
kid.
that.
When I was a little kid, like we'd sell freeze pops to our mailman, like whoever else was driving by, and we'd sell lemonades. But like my mailman would always give us like a $20 bill, and be like, and just want like one lemonade.
Oh wow.
And I aspired to be like that, where I can
A
just like
mailman?
yeah.
in
Where I can
5
just-
years,
no, where I can just
I
throw
wanna
like
see
20
that.
bucks at a kid, like it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And you're gonna make some kid's day.
Oh yeah, they're loving it. They're
Yeah.
screaming for you to stop, and when you stop, they get so excited.
This
They're
kid was like
stoked. They're
like
"No,
waving me
yeah."
down, holding up a sign. I was just
No.
like, "Yeah, buddy, get it." I was like, "I'm sorry, I can't stop." I think I was like
You're
leaving.
gonna be a
town or something.
businessman in 15 years, and you're gonna be rich and loaded, and you're gonna remember me.
He's just
I gave
still,
you-
15 years later. He's still selling lemonade.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Lemonade from his parents' driveway.
If you invest it right, man,
Gold.
doesn't matter. Gold, Peter.
So, listen, I got something to bring up.
Oh,
Growing up,
I told you this was coming.
yeah. So growing up, when you were in like middle school, late middle school, into high school, when you had the computer rooms or there were computers in your classrooms.
Remember computer lab? they'd roll a
What is
cart
it?
full. At least where I went to school.
Okay.
They'd roll a cart full of like MacBooks,
Okay.
and like they'd your classroom would have to rent it for the day. Or anyways,
Well-
I digress.
What were you gonna? Were you
Well,
gonna ask
well.
something?
So I guess I was just fortunate enough. We had like
Computer
like,
lab.
we just like in our classrooms we had like little desks like in
Okay.
the back area that had like 2 or 3 things.
Yeah.
And we had like 30 minutes to use it. But what I want to know is the websites you guys used to go to. Let's go back in the day.
I already know. Right off the
Yeah,
top of
me
my head.
too,
Go.
dude.
Load it.
Addictinggames.com.
I was gonna say the same thing.
And I would
Putt
play
putt.
Mini putt.
No,
Mini putt?
well, I'd play mini putt, but
What?
kitten cannon. That
Oh,
is the best
Yes.
game, dude.
that
You
was
hit-
so fun,
You hit like a
Yes.
trampoline and then a bomb, and then by the
It was
time you
bleeding.
dude.
Oh, yeah.
That was a fun game.
yeah, that was a great
It was
game.
all about
Kitten
physics.
cannon. Yeah, that I
Was
played
it?
mini putt.
Well, kind of like.
You just kind of pick the
The
angle and
direction.
launch it.
But then but whatever you laid down.
You
it
don't
would
know what you're
blast
landing
you.
on.
I know. I guess so.
The worst is when you're going
I
like
lied.
super fast and you were getting so much distance, but then you just
You hit a
land in-
spike.
Yeah, you hit or you
I was like,
hit one of those
Game
like
over. Yeah.
those like not like a a Venus flytrap. You'd hit one of those and it would suck you in.
Oh,
and you're
yeah.
like, done. But dude, I'll never forget this. I was like maybe 12 years old, and
I
I
love
was just
this.
I was like, I'm gonna guess how far I can go. I'll never forget. And so I click it and I hit a bomb and then like a trampoline and I was like 411 feet. That's the amount. 411 on the dot.
Wow.
It was, but nobody was around to see it, so
You were like, oh.
Yeah. So who knows if it's
and
true?
dude, you
What the hell are
you
you
guys
talking
can
about,
think
bro?
I'm lying, but it happened. Nobody
Someone
saw
already
it.
thought you were lying.
I
so.
saw it.
Someone
It's
online's like, yeah, I hit 412. No big
Yeah.
deal.
I know.
Well, it's not that it was far; it's just that I guessed it right.
So addicting games was a great one.
That was
Mm.
a huge. Site.
Like sometimes in school, like I forget if it was middle school or high school, but like they'd ban those sites
Oh yeah.
because they knew like you have to do this computer assignment, this project, whatever, and everyone would go on and just like play this kitten cannon game or whatever.
Yeah, but you could type
Mini
in
pot.
instead of HTTP,
Yeah,
you could do HTTPS,
dude,
The
I remember that.
security.
and you
So we-
bypass that. A little bit.
It's funny you say that. We used to use this site called oakboat.com. Oakboat.com. It was like a
Okay.
VPN almost. So it would disguise your browsing history. So you would go to that website, then it would bring up another search bar, like a
Oh
URL
wow,
bar.
that's sick.
And then you would put in what you were trying to get to, and it would bypass the security stuff. Again, this is like 2006, 2007. But I have 2 words for you, too, .com. Mini clip.
Mini clip, yeah,
Play mini clip, right?
yeah. There was this game
Mini
called
clip.
Bush Shootout, and you were like George Bush.
I remember that one too.
Yeah.
With the levels?
Yeah, you had to like
Yes.
shoot your
Oh
way
my
out of the
God,
White House.
dude.
There were like
Do you
terrorists
remember?
attacking.
Do you remember it was kind of like
And we just got flagged.
yeah. I know. We're not doing anything, we promise. Blame the internet. The chainsaw game. You had like a hockey mask on, and you would like, someone's got to know this when I'm talking about it, but you go like 4 floors of like an apartment building, and you have a chainsaw, and you have that hockey mask, and you like chainsaw down like doors and like barricades and people, and you would get up to the top.
People.
Yeah, people, and they were
I
like
don't remember
doors.
that one.
Someone's gonna, please, if you know what I'm talking about, put it in the comments because I don't know the name.
Miniclip.com.
Yeah,
that's
Miniclip.
a throwback.
I don't
We
even know
should
if I
go
know
out
that
to
one.
Yeah, so it was like 8-ball. Have you played the 8-ball
Yeah.
pool on your phone and
Yeah.
stuff? That's mini clip.
What were the other ones? Were like, I mean, this is more of like a video
Bubbles.
one, but like Break. Remember Break.com?
Oh, so those are for videos
Yeah.
to me.
That was funny videos.
Yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
like college kids.
There
doing
was
stupid
literally
stuff.
stupidvideos.com. Do you
Yeah.
remember stupidvideos.com? Stupidvideos.com. Have you ever watched that?
Nope.
That was like before YouTube, man.
Dang.
I remember when YouTube came out, and I think that's gonna make me sound old, but I remember
Same.
they said, YouTube is merging with Google or Google bought it or something like that. But I remember when it came out and I just listened to music on it and like
Do you
blast
remember
it.
the first ever YouTube video?
It's
Tell
yes.
me.
Come
wait.
on.
My Yahoo.
No.
First ever YouTube video
Ever?
ever.
I know it. I just can't remember
It's
it.
me at the zoo.
Yeah.
It's some guy just posting a
What?
clip of him at the zoo. I think it was one of the YouTube founders.
Yeah.
And a
Like
real
you just-
video, not animated.
Yeah.
No, not anime. It's just him at
Wow.
the zoo. I think he was practicing
And how
uploading
many
videos.
views? How many views?
Now it probably has like
Billions. Yeah.
maybe 1 billion. Who knows? But yeah, man, those websites back in the day. I need to give a shout out here because
You
naturally
said
I
you
have to,
would.
to my buddy Adam, and this actually has to do
Yo, Adam.
with
Adam.
Adam Lane. Oh, I don't
Pounded,
know if I
my
should give
brother.
his last name, but anyway,
What's his
So,
address?
I
wanna
do
send
know
him
it, but I'm not
something.
going to give it out.
All right,
But
we'll
when we
save
were
that
kids,
for later.
We went out to some website.
Poland, Maine.
Don't remember what it was. I don't remember what website we were going out to. Probably boobs.com because that was our go-to.
Wow.
But no, we were in my living room and we went out to some website and these pop-ups came up and the pop-ups were titled meatholes.com. We're probably 10 years old. I don't know.
What are we talking about here?
And we couldn't get it off the screen and it just
Was
froze.
it doing the
yeah,
the
they flash everywhere and you can't get them off. It's just like really bad images.
PenIsland.com.
That's
Really-
like straight virus.
Yeah, just bad images. And finally, my mom came over and was like, "Oh my God, what happened?" And we're like, "We don't know. Like, we honestly were just playing some game, and all these pop-ups came up."
We were playing mini putt, and then all of a sudden, boobs.
Yeah,
I definitely
all over the
did.
place.
I definitely did that myself, and I got into trouble because of all the pop-ups.
yeah.
So when someone walked into the room, a family member, my mom,
It's always
She's
the
like,
mom.
"What
Your
the-"
poor mom, yeah.
Yeah, she was
The
like,
dad
"What
would have been
the-
like, "Let
oh
me
my
see."
God.
Wait, get out of here, kids.
I
My
was-
turn.
Dude, I swear I clicked out like 20 screens, and it was still piling up, and I'm like, well,
Man, you guys were troublemakers. I was an angel.
No, you weren't.
No, I got.
Angel from above.
I'm not gonna get into it, but
We love you.
thank you.
These are great. Well,
Yeah.
what else? Let's go. Newgrounds. Have you ever been to newgrounds.com?
No.
I've heard of it, but I don't remember if I ever went to it.
Home run.
Home Run Derby.
No, it was a website. Again, if you know what I'm talking about, comment, because this is a long time ago.
Stuff that never happened.
.com.
Yeah,
you
stuff.
muppet.
Stuff. Yeah, yeah. Yo, so for everyone listening, you can't really see it unless you like go physically. You go online and look at the comments. But someone started commenting on our videos, and they're like, "What the hell are you guys talking about? We're talking about Pokemon Go,
Dude, it was so funny because
It
someone
was.
like came to our defense. Like,
yeah."
we were talking about Pokemon Go. It wasn't that hard to grasp. And this
Plus, it was
guy's
in
like,
the caption.
this
They're
guy's like,
"Read
what
the
are you guys
caption."
talking about?
Yeah.
And someone's like, Pokemon Go, you muppet.
Yeah.
I
That
was
is
like,
one of the-
what a solid diss. That
Yeah,
was awesome.
thank you.
Shout out
Whoever
to that guy.
commented
I
that.
hope you're watching this, man.
Yeah, that was funny.
Comment,
No,
talk
all of
to
it.
us.
Yeah, it was all funny.
It was so funny. I'm
We
like,
read
that
them
is
all.
great.
We
Yeah.
read
Oh,
the
yeah.
comments.
We really do.
All 6 of them.
yeah.
All 6, yeah.
Not
Hey,
many, but
Dude,
we're going to keep doing it till we can't.
one of our videos has like 10,000 views.
yeah.
The shorts. Those are sweet. Those are awesome.
Yeah. So I feel like I kind of introduced them to you guys.
Yeah, definitely.
of.
I didn't know what it was.
I
So
knew what they were before,
Okay.
but I'd
was a
actually
new-
posted some before.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And I know you're
That's
on
right. I
YouTube.
forgot you were YouTube
Yeah.
famous before us.
Yeah, you're multi-million.
63,000 views.
Well, the
MLB.
short that I posted was, it's like a Key and Peele video, but then I inserted my grandpa hitting a golf ball in the middle of it.
Okay.
So that got like 800
Those
views,
guys are
I think.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really funny. That's all. I feel like that's what it's all about. At least back then it was.
That's
you know?
what it's
It was just like
all
videos. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. I just feel like you would always go on those sites and you were always looking for something new. And there
What
was
about favorite childhood show?
favorite
Rocket
show?
Power or like.
I was thinking Rocket Power.
Have you
There's
watched
too
it since?
many.
It's on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Hulu. I
Okay.
watched it like a year or two ago. Absolute garbage.
It's terrible.
Like we don't know how good we have it now until you look back at what we used to watch.
Right.
Yes.
It had
Yeah.
meaning. Now it's just like
It was just like it was
my
cool. Like
friends, my
little,
boyfriend,
me and my friends were like all into skateboarding when we were little. So we're like, yeah, look at these guys like shredding and Rocket Power or whatever. And
I really like Jimmy Neutron.
Uncle Tito.
Jimmy Neutron was
That was
awesome.
a good one.
That was pretty advanced for a cartoon back in the day because
Yeah?
it was almost like 3D. Like Jimmy Neutron was very like detailed, and he wasn't just like a, I don't even know what the word would be for it, but he didn't look real, but
But he kind of did.
It was like high tech
Yeah, it was
high tech
high-
cartoon.
and it
High-tech,
hit every stereotype.
It was
if you will.
funny,
Like,
dude.
You had your nerdy friend.
Yeah.
You had your nerd but smart friend. You
Mm.
had your dumb jock or like cool kid. You had the
Exactly.
hot girl that was a friend. Yeah, it just hit every. It hit every.
Did you guys ever watch? I mean, I'm a little bit younger than you guys, but barely. But Boy Meets
Barely.
World.
Oh,
that was,
yeah.
that was
I like
more
Boy Meets
probably
World.
like my brother watched that. and that's
Topanga?
what- yeah, dude.
Topanga was
Everybody
my,
had a crush on
Oh
Topanga.
yeah. If you didn't have a crush on Topanga, then what are you doing?
Yeah.
Topanga was an absolute hottie back then. I was and Hillary Duff. Love Hillary Duff. I still love her to this day.
Me too.
I don't. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How I Met Your Father in that show.
Have you watched it?
Yep.
Do you like
I've
it?
seen clips, but
Yeah,
I've
it's pretty
just
good.
seen her like
Did you
act.
Did you watch How I Met Your Mother?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
dude,
that's a great
I'm the-
show. It's hard for me to get into How I Met Your Father, and I understand like it's a really
Barney's
similar
in it.
concept, but
Yeah.
I don't know. The cast they chose, like obviously Hilary Duff is great. The other guys, like the guy that's supposed to be like Ted Mosby, I don't really love him.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
the
just-
love story's not there. I
Yeah,
definitely
it's a
think
little
that.
bland in my opinion.
She's just
Yeah.
one of the rare. It's rare because like so many people get messed
What was
up.
it? Was it the Hilary Duff show or something like that? What was
It
her
was
show?
it was Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
And then it was like Cadet Kelly, which was like movies on Disney.
Right. Right.
And then she was on a couple other things, but she was just like she was always real.
It's good to see that she's like still okay because a
Yeah.
lot of childhood stars like
messed
up
up.
in Philadelphia on Kensington Ave.
Yeah, I mean, no
Like
joke,
look at
dude.
Hillary, not Hillary Duff. What's her name? The Lohans.
Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah.
Or
Lindsay
Amanda
Lohan.
Bynes.
Amanda
yeah.
Bynes.
They're all
They're all
messed
gone.
up,
They're
you
all
know?
gone.
It's
Yeah.
a shame. It
All
really.
that show.
Miley Cyrus, dude. Like they're all. I mean,
Miley Cyrus is like
she's okay.
She's- yeah.
She just like very like
she had a weird segment of her like musical career.
yeah,
Yeah.
a little grungy.
But when you're under the
yeah.
spotlight to that for like years and
It's all
years,
you know.
And
I
as a
kind
kid,
of understand, why you might want to rebel a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember like when I was younger, I saw like Daniel Radcliffe got busted for like
Harry Potter?
cocaine. And I was like, oh my God, he's like, his life is horrible. Like he's, it's because he's a child star. But at the end of the day, it's like, it's probably a decent amount of people who do that never get caught. They're not famous, so it's not in the spotlight, and they just live their life.
Yeah.
But he gets, under this huge spotlight, and
That's the
everybody
thing
thinks
is
he's a terrible person.
everyone
but
has
it's just not true.
expectations for you at that level, and
Yeah. It's hard to live up
and
to him.
like you
Yeah.
said, a lot of people like to rebel and like change. They don't want to be this like cute little princess that they were on Disney. They want to be like a grown up and have
Mm.
respect
And I get
from other
that,
people. And
because
yeah.
everyone's just, if you see Hilary Duff, or you would see Hilary Duff back then, you'd be like, Lizzie McGuire. But she was probably, because she did the singing too. She had an album or two out. And she's probably, yeah, I was Lizzie McGuire, but that's not all I'm about. And I feel like that gets really frustrating.
But like I said,
Yeah.
it's good to see that she like made it out okay and like is
Oh,
still doing
dude,
good.
Married, has kids. She just seems like a very
Genuine,
laid-back,
yeah.
genuine person. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Spe-
couldn't imagine being. Go ahead.
No, go.
I was gonna say I couldn't imagine being a child star and like having the cameras in your face. Not only
Macaulay
like
Culkin is a great example.
not only having the cameras in your
He's
face,
bounced back
but
though.
Yeah.
yeah,
He went really off the deep end, but he's bounced back.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's like not only being on camera on shows, but then like you can't even step foot out of your house without the paparazzi being all over you. I mean, Justin Bieber can't go anywhere without cameras up.
He's
up
constantly.
his ass.
Oh yeah.
It sounds
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
He's
Yeah,
constantly
colonoscopies every day.
all day blowing
Shout
it
out
up.
Alex's new job.
Hell yeah. Shh.
Don't tell anybody.
Yeah. So. Yeah. I mean, I see so many like short clips of him, and he's like, "I love you guys, but this is my home. I'm trying to just go inside and have dinner with my wife, or my
Right.
girlfriend, whenever." the
And that's
videos-
respectful.
Yeah.
Like, to
he's like, please,
yeah.
like, just leave me alone. And but some guys are like, oh, one pic though, just one pic. And he's
right.
like, I'm asking.
It's so
you
much
nicely.
though.
No pics, no pictures.
The biggest like I don't even know how to explain. The biggest like weird thing I ever experienced, like you watch Full House, you see Bob Saget,
Oh,
just
man.
family dad. And then I watched Entourage and he came in there and he's like dropping F-bombs and like swearing
His
and saying
comedy is
talking
raunchy as
talking about
frig.
like, hooking up with young girls. I'm like, what? Like this is
Yeah.
Danny Tanner. Or
He's
it
like-
was Danny Tanner, right?
Yeah.
This is Danny Tanner and he's over here like being a perv.
Yeah, he's like, I'm in the
Sick
club. I'm doing a
pervert.
couple lines of coke right now, and this
Yeah.
is your family dad that you grew up on.
Right,
And he's
dude.
just
going-
It's a trip to like
It
see
is.
that. Like but people
That
have real
shows-
lives
Yeah.
and some people just
That's what
go
acting's
go
all
that
about.
route. Yeah,
though.
right. Exactly.
That's
He-
what he was acting as, and we're used to it. But then he's like, blah
That-
blah 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 blah.
that
on
like
the
got in my
mic,
head
and-
though. I'm like, this
I
guy
know.
is like the family dad, and then you see
He
him
really
like,
was.
like that, like you said, just talking about drugs and young women, and I'm like, what is wrong with this guy?
I
Well,
know.
some shows will ruin an actor, I think. Like,
Yeah.
you'll never, like, it'll be tough for you to see Ted Mosby in another movie because you'll always look back and say, that's just Ted Mosby. It'll
He's a
always
hopeless
be
romantic.
him.
Yeah,
And and I mean, that happened with me with Michael Scott. I'm like, I can't see him in any other
I
movies
know.
because I
He's
just
The
think of
Office.
Michael Scott,
I know.
Right.
you know?
I feel like I saw him before I got into The Office. What was
I mean,
he in?
yeah.
Was he in Bruce? No, that was the other one.
He was in Evan
No, he-
Almighty.
Evan Almighty.
No, he
that
wasn't
before
Bruce
Office?
Almighty too, though.
Yeah,
oh,
he
right,
was.
the news reporter.
He was the guy who was like,
yeah. Was that before The Office?
Before,
Friggin',
yeah.
Okay.
Donnie from the
Yeah,
Thornberries.
Yeah, it was nuts. Doo-ba-da-ba-doo-boo, poo-poo,
Yeah.
caca, pee-pee. Yeah,
And my tiny little nipple
Well-
into France.
great movie.
Great movie.
Hey, speaking of famous people, what is or who is the most famous person that you know? And it doesn't need to be
That's
like
a pretty open question too, because it could be
Who
an
do you know,
athlete, it
though?
could be a
Like,
musician.
who have you met? At least have had some sort of conversation.
And fame
with.
can be different. So for me, it's my friend Paul Kowski. Shout out PDK Films, King Kowski. A lot of kids. He's a big YouTuber. 18 million subscribers plus.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, bigger than most
Huge.
people on YouTube that you know. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And he's just a good friend of mine. We were in college at the same time. We didn't go to college together, but we did ROTC program together briefly before we both chose different routes. But
yeah.
we used to go to his house in San Diego, and he'd walk outside, and little kids would be like, "Oh my gosh, are you PDK?"
Oh, wow.
And people recognize it. 18 million subscribers, crazy.
Yeah.
He's probably the most famous he's famous.
Yeah.
He's got 18 million followers.
Do you know him from growing up?
No, but the funny thing is I met him in San Diego and he's from Maine. So that's
Oh.
kind of how we bonded. I'm like, "Oh, we're both from New England area." And then we both got into surfing together. So yeah, we kind of
I
became
met him a
friends.
few times too, and he just
Yeah, he was at my bachelor party. He was at the wedding.
you never
Oh,
really
he was?
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You wouldn't know.
Unless
Great
he
guy,
opens
humble
his
guy.
Oh yeah. Unless he opens up his laptop, he's like, I gotta do a quick couple of things, and then you're like, about what? And if he tells you, but you would never know.
Hmm.
You would never
He's
know.
a cool guy. He's a hard worker. But yeah, other than that,
I'm trying to think, too.
Yeah.
I'm not that cool. I don't know.
I
Alex
have
probably
a-
knows people from the music industry.
I do. So yes, you
Alex's
got it.
dad was practically famous.
I mean, yeah, he
Riot
was in a
Act.
band called Riot. Just Riot.
Oh, Riot. That's
Riot Act was his
Right. Spin-off.
rendition
Yeah.
of it, and he wanted to go so far with it, and it sucks that he can't. But he knew so many people, and I went to so many concerts that I wouldn't have gone to if it wasn't for him. And do you know the name Eddie Money?
Yeah, of course.
2 Tickets to Paradise.
2 tickets to paradise.
Exactly. So I would say him because I met him a couple times.
You met Eddie Money?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So I've gone to see him twice. I've met him backstage twice because of my dad.
Yeah.
And my dad, being in the sales industry at with appliances, actually was selling appliances to his mom.
That's funny.
So we would go into Queens, I think it was Queens or the Brooklyn area, and it was Eddie Money's mom. So I would go with him and drop off stuff, and she'd make us tea and have some snacks and stuff.
What?
And it was Eddie Money's mom.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So
and
it's funny. So speaking of moms, when I worked at a company that handled grant management software,
Right.
excuse me.
You're excused.
So people would this company, people would donate, let's say you work for Bank of America, you donate $5,000 to a nonprofit, Bank of America will match it, and we handled that software. So I used to talk to JJ Watt's mom regularly because she manages the JJ Watt Foundation.
Oh, wow.
So I talked to her once in a while. That was kind of cool.
Dang.
How about people? Have you met people like after a concert? You got to meet for me, I got to meet everyone in Puddle of Mud. That was really cool.
I've met a lot of
Yeah.
famous people.
Puddle of
'cause
Mud. That
my
sounds
dad.
really familiar. Is it she
Blurry.
hates
Yeah,
me?
she hates
Yeah.
me and Blurry.
And Blurry.
Just
Yeah.
hates
So I got to
me.
see them at this small place in Malibu Canyon, and we got to meet them afterwards. It was really cool.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've met famous people.
Baseball
Baseball
players,
players. Yeah. At some of our baseball practices, there'd just be a famous baseball player out in the outfield playing catch.
Who's
That's
the
awesome.
coolest one?
Yeah.
Like Derek Jeter or anything cool
Um,
like that? Or
I've never met Derek Jeter, but I've been close to him at a Starbucks.
I met Dustin Pedroia.
Oh, really?
That was kind of cool.
Who
Well, I
have you
think-
met that you're most proud of?
The most proud of. Oh man.
Or follow the most?
Other than us, obviously.
That's a
the
dude.
Martini Boys.
Or
Or unexpected. You were somewhere and you were oh my God, that's
probably
so-and-so.
Kevin Kiermaier. He plays for. He played for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he was
Okay.
just a couple years older than me, and he would go out to the bars in Tampa, and so I just
I
saw
love
him
that.
there actually for Halloween. He was wearing a toga, and I was like, "Yo, Kevin Kiermaier," and I just fist bumped him. That was it.
Right.
And then I met another guy who played for the Canadian baseball team. I forget his name now, but like he bought me shots and stuff. He wasn't that famous, but there's a clip on YouTube.
I
Of
love him
getting,
already.
Like, there was a fight between Canada and I think Mexico in like the World Baseball Classic, and he gets like just rocked. Like there's a huge brawl, and he gets just like rocked. But yeah, I mean,
how far in baseball did you go? Because you played college ball, right?
just D2 college baseball.
That was it.
Still
I
though.
Did you
played
play all
for-
4 years?
No, I just played for a year, and then my senior, I walked on as a junior.
Cool.
And then my senior year, I got bicep tendonitis, and I also just lost interest. Like,
yeah.
I just had different things that I wanted to do.
Right.
You know, like I had more interest in like going out and like hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
I just,
The college experience, or
Yeah.
you know, in your 20s, that's what you do.
yeah, exactly. But I played for I played for the Inner City League in Boston, which is like, I played with some like semi-professional guys.
That's cool. So I worked with this guy in Dana Point. He was a server with me, and it's, you know, unfortunate that that's the path that it led to him. But he played minor league ball, and he was a pitcher, and like basically threw his arm out or got Tommy John surgery, so he couldn't play anymore. But he's like, yeah, like I've struck out Dustin Pedroia, I've struck out like this guy and that guy. I'm like,
wow.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
But like now he's a server.
Yeah, I mean, it's just such a tough like road to go through. Like, there were kids that would get drafted at my school and they never made it out of single A baseball because it goes single A, double A, triple A, and they never made it out of single A. And then I had a coach who, he was with the Seattle Mariners organization for 10 years. He made it all the way up to triple A. They kept telling him, we're going to move you up. We're going to bring you to the majors. And he never got pulled up. And I just kept thinking to myself, do I want to be 30 and like have to restart my life because I'm dedicating my life to this sport? And I definitely wasn't good enough. Like, I knew that. These guys are all throwing upper 90s now. You know, I don't even think I ever touched 90.
Oh.
So
I mean,
like,
that's fast.
yeah.
it is.
That's no joke. You got to be
No.
really strong to throw that.
Yeah, and they're, you know, these guys are like, my coach was like 6'6", you know, so like he had the leverage.
Right.
He was like weighed a lot more than me. I don't know.
That's cool though. You had your fun, right?
I had fun.
Yeah.
It was
That's all that
great.
matters, man. Those are great experiences.
Dude,
Yeah.
I played intramural like softball in college. Like we drink like a 6-pack of beer and then go play softball and like just a beer league, kind of
That's
fun.
what I should have done.
Dude, my claim to fame at San Diego State was like, so Snapchat, like you could like get on like this SDSU stories or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Someone got a Snapchat of me hitting a walk-off grand slam
What?
in softball. It was sick.
Nice.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you eat a McChicken?
No, that was in my more adult years when I played some softball.
He had
more
a home
locally.
run after having like McDonald's.
Me and my
Was
brother
great.
showed up.
Puked rounding third.
Me and my brother showed, like, this is like 5 years ago or
I love-
3 or 4 years ago. We showed up with
best.
McDonald's. You know, we're playing softball, like big whoop. I'm not gonna go. It's not like I'm running a marathon. So I had a McChicken and my brother had some like, I don't know, burgers or something. But I hit a home run after having a McChicken. So the whole team called me McChicken for the rest of the
Like, eat
season.
more of
and,
those.
and this guy, you know, J-Sat, he still calls
Oh
me
yeah,
McChicken.
he's awesome. I love that.
And he
McChickens
calls
are
my
so
wife
good.
Mrs. McChicken.
I hope you're watching this, man. You're the
J-Sack,
best.
I know. We
J-Sack,
gotta,
bro. Let's go back to Treehouse.
he's cool. He's like toured with some big bands actually.
We were in touch a little bit, like
Yeah.
music wise, and nothing bad. Just my music was different than like what he would
Yeah.
have would want to be in. You know,
Who is this guy? How do you know him?
A friend of ours,
Through-
mine and my brother through softball.
softball. Okay,
Yeah.
All right.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
cool.
good.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Speaking of 6-packs and like beer and stuff, bringing alcohol.
Danny's a keg.
Yeah. In case,
Danny
like,
is a-
nobody can tell. 'Cause it's kind of folded up right now.
Yeah,
I just took it out of the package.
He's
but
not actually
Michigan
a birch.
keg.
He's not actually a birch tree log. He's a beer keg.
tell
Beer.
us in depth about what happened when you went to try and get a 6-pack.
Oh
my
yeah.
at the
God.
mini mart. Let's hear this.
the 6-pack of chocolate chip cookies. You mean? Because that's what I got.
Really?
Yeah. I just
With the credit card thing?
Yeah. I just
All
wanted
right,
some
let's
chocolate
hear
chip
it.
cookies.
Spill it.
But yeah,
Spill
so
it
I
now.
went to this mini mart, you know, because I was having some low blood sugar. I get that.
Okay.
And I was like, I need a little snack. And so I went in the store and I get the cookies and put them up on the counter. And the lady kind of just like looks at me and kind of just gives me like a dirty look. And I was like, whatever, just want my cookies. And so she rings me up. She's like, $2.59. And I was like, do you guys take credit card? Because I didn't see a credit card machine. Like, you know, it's 2023. You'd think
Right.
there'd be a credit card machine just right
Mhm.
there and you put it. And so I said, do you take credit cards? She just goes, like, shrugs her shoulders. Like, I don't know. And I'm like, well, do you like cash, credit card? And she goes, it's 2023. Do people not take credit cards now? And just pure
That's
attitude,
so
dude.
disrespectful.
She's missing
I
so
know.
many of her teeth too. Like just,
Yeah.
It's sad because she's probably only 30 and she's, missing a bunch of teeth. She just looks terrible. And so I was just like, yeah, I mean, I didn't see a credit card machine. So I figured, I just
Ask.
ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I hate that so much.
and just that level of
Awesome
like,
customer service.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was just,
Hell
and,
yeah, I
and,
want to go there.
And so she hands me back my card and I just walk out. I didn't even say like, have a nice day or anything. And I was, so I really want to go back there and just keep trolling her. Just be like, every time I go there, oh, do you take credit card?
We should all go and like we'll go
We
like one
talked
after
about it.
another and like just mess with her.
You know
Just
what I'm
keep
gonna do?
asking if they take it.
You guys are going to sit in the car. I'm going to go in and then I'm going to say, hang on, let me go get my brother.
Yeah.
And then you're going to walk in and then you're going to say, hang
on,
on, let me go get my brother. And then you're going to come in.
I'm down to use credit card, but I don't know if my other brothers are. Like, let me
Yeah.
let me go contact my
Exactly.
brothers.
Yeah. Like, oh, let me see if my brother's got his credit card. So that just really irked me. I just don't like.
Yeah, dude, you were bent out of shape over that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was really mad.
It's just, I mean, you never, to give her the benefit of the doubt, which we shouldn't
been a bad
because
day, but-
screw her. But yeah, exactly. You never know what people are going through. But I had a similar situation. So just over the weekend, my wife and I drove 15 hours, 7.5 hours to
Dude.
Buffalo, New York, and 7.5 hours home to
Holy
pick up a
crap.
new motorcycle for myself.
Selfish.
It has to be the Holy Grail,
Dude,
I mean,
it was a deal I couldn't pass up, basically.
Yeah,
But we're
It
leaving.
rides you. That's how good it is.
We're
Not the
leaving
driver.
this. We're leaving this town, and I'm just feeling up, getting some gas in the truck. I grabbed some road trip snacks for Lindsay and myself, and
I like
I must have grabbed like 2 Poland Springs. Hell yeah, Poland Springs. And I grabbed like some like munchies and Chex Mix. And I checked out. I don't think this guy said one word to me.
Mm.
And I like he kind of rang it up and like I did my credit card and I was like, "Can I get a bag?" And he's like, he just nodded yeah and like put it in a bag and gave it to me and then he just like continued to like do whatever he was doing, like counting cash or something. And I was like, "Am I all set?" And he's like, "Yep." Okay, bye.
Yeah, it's like
Great.
Thank you for
I mean,
visiting.
I don't want to say this is why you're working at a gas station, but you don't have the social skills to do anything
No.
else.
I have 3 letters for that.
Let's hear it.
NPC.
Oh,
He was
they were
programmed.
improperly placed.
Programmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Some people, you never know, I guess. But in a customer-facing position, you would expect someone to say, "Hey, how's it going? Have a nice day."
Yeah.
At the very least.
Yeah, maybe it's the case of I'm not getting paid enough and I have this kind of like chip on my shoulder and
Yeah, I guess you never know.
don't want to be polite to customers.
But yeah, so Lindsay and I, we drove 7.5 hours to Buffalo, New York. We were there for probably 45 minutes. I test rode this bike. I loaded it up in the truck and we left. And like we talked about stopping for dinner. Neither of us were hungry. And I don't know if it's because we were sitting in the car for that long that like we weren't burning calories where our body needed a fuel.
Right.
Like we had some road trip snacks, like some chips and candy and crap like that. But we left New York and I was like, I mean, if you're hungry, we can stop and get food. But like, I'm not too hungry. And she's like, yeah, me either. I was like, honestly, if I had a full meal right now, I'd probably feel pretty sick.
Yeah.
And like, we have 7 hours to go. I don't want to feel like that. And like, I don't have to stop and use the bathroom and all that stuff. Like,
And
let's
that's
just,
more time you have to sit in the car. Like
Yeah.
if you stop and get food, it's like, dang, we still have to drive 7 hours.
Right.
I'd rather just not eat
I know.
and get there quicker.
Right. So that's the thing too, is like if we stop for an hour, like we got home at 1 a.m. and like we only stopped for gas and like to go pee.
Mm.
So if
Yeah.
we'd stopped for dinner, we would have got home like 2:30.
Yeah, we used to drive, like, my brother would come with me, and I'd drive down to school when it'd be time to
Tampa?
go back. Yeah, we
Damn.
drive from, Massachusetts all the way to
How
Tampa.
long is that?
I think it was, like, about 20 hours.
Gnarly.
But, like, he would just get, like, Pepto-Bismol and Red Bull, and we just, like, he'd drive most of the way. So
Yeah.
it was pretty chill. I didn't mind it, I got to sleep most of the time.
Well, that was the
so-
thing for me too. Is like Lindsay didn't mind driving, and so she drove the last hour and a half to Buffalo. And I was like, yeah, like if you want to drive like this way, I can tell the guy like, hey, we're an hour out, like, and just kind of like guide you into like where we need to go because it's like the middle of nowhere. We don't know where we are. And then the ride home, I just drove the whole way because like I wasn't sleeping, so it's whether I'm sitting in this seat or that seat and like turning a wheel and hitting the gas pedal. Like it wasn't a big difference for me, so I was like, I'll just drive.
Yeah, time goes by faster, I think, when you're driving, too.
Yeah.
Like, you're more in
It
a
does.
zone.
The weirdest part for me was like all of a sudden I had no idea where we are, and all of a sudden it's like welcome to New York. I'm like, oh, I did not think we were that close to the border.
Yeah, you really are.
And then it's like another 30 miles, 40 miles to like Albany.
Because doesn't Western Mass connect to New York?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
You'd never think that.
Yeah, so
If
we
you
went
go,
through
like-
Albany, Rochester, Syracuse, Utica, all the way to Buffalo.
So that's a nice drive.
It was
Probably see a lot
beautiful,
of
dude.
foliage. This
There's
is
a
good
lot
time
of
year to do
foliage.
it.
Just long. But
And there was
yeah.
a lot of like beautiful like rolling hills and mountains, and it was really pretty. And like Lindsay kind of helped me see that stuff where I was just like focused on the getting there. She's like, "Look how pretty it is." I'm like, "Yeah, you're right. That's nice." But like, yeah, it was a long time. It was a long
Dang.
drive.
Well, glad you got your bike. And now you
Thanks.
have something to ride for. Are you going to ride it in the winter? Like, can you ride that in
No.
the snow? If you have
I rode my Honda in the snow, and like where I was just like kind of like sliding around in the street in front of my house, and then I fell.
Oh, so you just.
And like with this bike, like
Done.
it's newer, it's nicer, it's more expensive. Like I'm not gonna even mess with that. I'll probably
No.
take the battery out and just like put it on a tender and whatever. But
Yeah.
there's plenty of fall riding to do. I'm going on a ride in Connecticut the 22nd. It's like an hour and 40 away. We're just gonna truck the bikes down, go for a ride. So these are like dirt bikes for those listening and watching. It's like it's street legal dirt bikes, so like an enduro or a dual sport. So it's plated, it's got lights and blinkers and everything, but it's like fully dirt bike tires and dirt bike body and everything. So we're gonna truck the bikes down and go for I think a 120-mile ride or something like that, and should be fun.
On
Nice,
trails
dude.
and stuff,
Yeah.
like out in the woods.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
How was you were on a moto weekend?
Yeah, so that was I did the moto weekend a couple weeks ago. That was right before I got sick. But yeah, Mike and I, we loaded up the bikes in the truck and drove out to Harrisville, New Hampshire, and did 100 and actually we didn't quite make it, but if everything went as planned, we would have gone 120 miles around like Mount Monadnock on like class 6 roads and dirt bike trails and stuff like that. So it's a lot of fun. We do it twice a year. We do a summer rally and we do a fall rally. And there's a handful of other ones that I want to do next year now that I have the new bike, but it was a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's camping. We woke up in like 40 degrees. It's freezing. I did not have the right sleeping bag for that. I woke up. I had my beanie on like to my eyebrows, and then I had the sleeping bag up to like over my nose.
This was that cold.
Yeah, so I just had
Yeah.
like this showing.
Raccoon.
Yeah.
That was your costume. Your pre-costume.
We right before bed, we stood by the fire and like let the heat go up our shirts, and then ran to our sleeping bags. Just, I mean, it's fun. It's doable. It's
Yeah.
no big deal.
Get away from all the.
It's fun. It's like I love going camping. I love riding. So to do the both at the same time, it's
Right.
awesome.
Yeah.
Get to spend some time with my brother and a lot of our friends, and it's a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's all about, man.
Take
Yeah,
a break from society.
yeah. It's just nice to get out and rough it.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, we had a great night. I'm gonna turn my hat backwards.
Whoa.
I'm going pop punk sailor. And for those who don't know, I feel like we haven't seen each other in a long time, so I'm really stoked to be back.
Like I said, I got
Filming.
sick last week, so I didn't get to see you guys for like 10 days, and after seeing
I
you
love
guys
doing this.
regularly, it's nice to get back with the bros.
I cried
is.
every night.
Yeah.
We FaceTimed a couple times. We had a few phone calls. It's nice to talk to you guys, but
It's not the
nothing
same.
beats getting here and just shooting the shit.
Yeah.
Smoking a pipe.
Oh. Here we go again with this weird accent.
I don't know what the hell this accent is, but on that,
What's your best accent? No, just kidding.
I have a couple. Next
time, stay
Next
tuned.
episode, yeah, stay tuned. But I have an empty glass. I thought I had more, but I'm
Well,
gonna cheers you guys anyway.
Yeah. Cheers anyways, but
I got nothing.
thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and feel free to hit us up in the comments, and we'll talk about anything you guys want, and shake it up.
Shake it up.
Later.
Peace.